Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this bonus new figure reveal and reaction video, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. So earlier on we had a Hasbro Fans First event, which I'm going to discuss in a second, but of course we had some brand new figure reveals in it. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be showing you some images of them, and of course some images of the figures that we've already seen, and giving you my reactions to all of these. A couple of quick apologies. One is for the lateness of this video, and the second is if I do keep sniffling. That is also the reason for the lateness. The UK pollen count is at an all-time high, so I'm going to do my best to plow on through this without sniffling. So much for you. So it was quite a good event. It was just about an hour long. It was all Transformers. There were some figures that we hadn't seen, there was some that we were expecting, and there was of course some that we already have seen. I suppose the premise of the show was to do exactly that. They split it into two parts. The first part was, I suppose, product marketing, and of course that's what they were talking about first. And the first was a virtual reactive game, which was quite immersive. It looked, there was a few images of it, and they just, I suppose, skipped over that quite quickly. The second was something that we've known about, and I've in fact made people aware of on this channel before already, which is these tubs, the collaborative there with making ducks out of Optimus Prime and Megatron. But again, we've already discussed that, we've already seen that, and of course this other one's already been discussed, reviewed, and been out now for nearly a month already, which was the Lego Optimus Prime. So this is why I'm just glossing over them very fast. That was the first three things that they spoke about, and then they moved on to they called it 13 sort of figures, 13 reveals. And the brilliant thing about it was they did focus solely at first on the Velocitron toy line, which we've heard so much about. Now, my only concern and worry for this is obviously I live in the UK, and these are going to be all Walmart exclusives. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, and which, I suppose, companies can pick hold of these and be able to distribute them. I'm crossing my fingers for Robot Recruits. And yeah, the premise of it is, of course, that there's this big race on Velocitron, and it was really good how they were introducing the figures. Each figure's got their own sort of story and part to play in this whole Velocitron idea that they've got, which is, of course, Velocitron is the flattest planet or moon, should we say, that in the Transformers fandom, and this is where they're going to have this huge race. And the way that it went is there was 5 deluxe figures, 2 Voyager and a leader class figure, and they started off unfortunately with one that we've seen before, which is Blur, but this is the IDW take on Blur. So yes, they're using the original Studio Series 86 mold, but they've redecoed it and they have retooled it. They've given it, as you can see, there's Marclonus with one in hand, showing off the new head sculpt there, which I'm sure you'll agree does make it look brilliant. There's the packaging. Now, I really like the packaging, and the reason why I stopped and took a picture of the packaging, couple of reasons. One, it's nice to see the packaging, and two, because exactly why they stopped and pointed out as well, it's a brilliant homage to G1. And I suppose the main difference is, and it's quite weird because when you think about it, you don't normally think about it, you buy a figure now and they're always in robot mode, but with it being this sort of homage to G1, you buy the figures out of this Velocitron toy line and they're all in their alternate mode. So that's how they're going to be packed. Again, the homage to G1 is the fact that it's a square box, it's got the flap, so and there's images and everything all over the back, so it's just brilliant. And they kept showing off the packaging, and I think even if you're an in-box or an out-box collector, of course the packaging's huge, so it's nice to see, and it's good to see that they're putting time and effort into it still. So that is why we've got an image of the packaging there we've got the alternate mode, so you can see quite clearly now that it is a retool as well as a redeco. But I haven't got too many pictures of this because, again, we've already seen quite a lot of this. The next one we hadn't seen. This is, of course, Burnout, and as you can already tell, she's a redeco of the Skids mold. This one came out of nowhere, to be fair, but to be honest, was it a surprise with the fact that they're basically covering all of the Diaclone range that they can? Of course, this was bound to come out. I've got a version of this which was used a botcon version of her, which I'll be doing very soon on this channel. But as you can see here, there it is. She's just a straight up redeco. There's a slightly more detail, I think, on the back, with the fact that you can see the tail lights. I know they pointed that out a couple of times, but yeah, she's just a straight up redeco, maybe slight retool of Skids, and yeah, that is going to be called Burnout. So we look forward to seeing her released with all this toy line. The next one was a total surprise, not a surprise with the fact that they used the mold, but this particular character here. So this is from G2. It is, of course, Road Rocket. Now, what they've done is they've used the RC mould brilliantly. The colour scheme on this, I think, is brilliant and far, far better than the RC version, to be honest. I'm really liking the look of this. They're using the same weapons, but they've, I suppose, how can we word it? They've amped them up. They've made them look a lot better because it's a ninja bike, because the character's a ninja. They've turned the combining discs that you get with RC, excuse me, into, like, I suppose, a ninja throw star sort of thing. And that's brilliant. And they picked up on that a few times. And it's nice to see them doing things like that rather than just giving them straight redecos. So that's 3 deluxe already. The next one, again, is unfortunately one that we've already seen. This is, of course, Clampdown. And again, this is another homage back to the Diaclone figures. What always makes me laugh about this is that, yes, it is the police version, obviously, of Red Alert. Lovely alternate mode, much, much bigger version there. But yeah, the reason why I'm laughing is, of course, I mean, how much budget does their police and fire department have that they can have Lamborghini police cars? And yeah, their council, that's it, the council budget for them to afford Lamborghini police and fire vehicles. It's crazy, and that's why I've got a bit of a daft grin on my face. But Clampdown is one I'm excited for. I like the mould. I like, again, I like the homages all back to Diaclone figures. So we're not even going back to G1. We're going, obviously, pre-Transformers with the Diaclone. And again, there's a beautiful image here of the packaging with the car in the alternate mode, and of course we've got the artwork of the figure on the side. The alternate mode looks like it's going to be on the flap. It's still coming under the Legacy banner though, so all these Velocitron figures, they're still coming under the Legacy banner, and the Legacy banner is exactly that. It's just the whole 40-year, I suppose, anniversary, and including these couple of years before, so that's really nice to see. This one was the surprise. The next one was the surprise, and again, they've even got a story involved with it. The story is that this character, so if you've not seen it, I'm just going to build into it a little bit because it was the biggest surprise. I know that one of my subscribers is going to really dislike the fact of how hollow the forearms are, which you're going to see in a second. But this person is not allowed to race because it's actually a spaceship, so it of course can't go around the track, it can just fly about. But it's a deluxe class mini-bot, and it is, of course, Cosmos. And yeah, you can see my face, really, really excited for this. It's a brilliant version of Cosmos from G1. There's the huge hole in the forearm I'm on about. I know that's going to get filled in by loads of companies quite quickly. There is the alternate mode, and yeah, as you can see, they've got a checkered flag. So the story for this particular character is that it's the flag waver, and then the person exactly that, I suppose, in charge of the race, not allowed to take physical part of the race because, of course, it's a spaceship. It's not a hovercraft, it's a spaceship. And of course, the flag doubles up as a weapon, and Mark Lone's pointed out, it's so true. That's the first time I think that Cyclonus, under Takara or Hasbro, maybe not under third party, has actually had a weapon. And this next shot's brilliant. So anybody who remembers the Thrilling 30 version of Cosmos, in fact, it wasn't Thrilling 30, it might have been Thrilling 30, or it might have been Combiner Wars. I think it's Thrilling 30 now I've said that. Look at the size difference. So that's the version, the latest version that Hasbro Takara have done. This is the new one. It's at least twice the size, isn't it? And I'm excited for that guy. It's really nice. Big surprise. Apologies, it is starting to get worse. So that's your 5 deluxe. So again, we'd seen a few of them, some of them we hadn't. Moving on to the Voyager class, unfortunately we've seen these already, but it's nice to get them official. So of course we've got Road Hauler, which is a redeco of Grapple with a new head sculpt, so I suppose a retool as well. And it's quite funny because the story they used for this particular character was they're not in the race, of course, because they're not like a race car, but that's the person who's going to be, I suppose, towing away all the debris and picking up all the mess. So that's the story that they used for Road Hauler's appearance in this Velocitron toy line. And again, I'm super excited for it. I've got the original eHobby version, and yeah, really excited for this guy. Now the next one, again, we've seen, unfortunately, so it's another female character as well, so that's good. They're getting loads of different female characters in as well. This is, of course, Override. And we've seen her, she's a Voyager class as well. There is some brilliant detail on her. I like the fact that there's like lots of all this attachments at the back. You're going to see in a second when Mark Lonis has got her in hand. Let me just get another shot of it there for you. You can see all the guns, the accessories and everything with her. And I think she's, I think she looks great. I think the alternate mode looks fantastic. It is one I'm excited for. I only know that particular character from the Japanese continuity, where it's got a completely different name, and I need to catch up, obviously, with watching and seeing her as Override. So that was the 2 Voyager class. So again, unfortunately, we've seen, and unfortunately, the leader class you'll have seen before. But I suppose what was good, well, in fact, it wasn't good. They skirted over it themselves, and they even said it depends on what continuity that you watch, because they said, and they literally did when they were talking about it, they said it's either Black Convoy or it's Nemesis, sorry, or it's Scourge. And I wrote it down as well. As I said, they literally said it depends on which continuity that you follow. But unfortunately, yeah, we've seen this character, we've seen this figure, and so this one wasn't really much of a surprise, although it does look great. And again, it's one that I still will definitely be getting. I really like the look of it. One thing, I don't know if I've got a picture of it. I haven't got a picture of it, but of course it's going to be completely closed off box because it's leader class, so it's going to be the completely concealed packaging, which I know is going to annoy some people, but that's the way it's going to be, of course, from now on with leader class and upwards. Moving on, you've already just seen a quick snippet of it. They talked about the reissue and the re-release of this particular figure. This is, of course, the Top Gun crossover from Maverick, and you've got the bike. But the main reason that they were talking about it was because, of course, the delay of how long it's taken for Top Gun 2 to come out, and all they've done is they've mainly changed the packaging there, and it's obviously got the date, this year's date on it, and Maverick on it, etc. So this is going to be reissued. I'm wondering if that's going to be one of the things that Target were talking about revealing tomorrow. We will wait to find out. So that's the Velocitron toy line. So yeah, there was 8 in total. You had, I'll just recap them for you. So you got Blur, Burnout, Road Rocket, Clampdown and Cosmos were your deluxe. We've got Road Hauler and Override were your Voyager, and of course we've got Scourge as your leader class. Now the next were, again, these are Walmart exclusives, but I've seen these sold in the Entertainer in the UK. So these are, and again, this is completely expected because we've already got a Starscream. So this is red, which stands for Robot Enhanced Design, and that means they're non-transformable. So we've got Thundercracker, very poseable, looking really good. Again, closed box, and I've took a picture of that again to people, and I know that they're not everybody's cup of tea, but even with the red figures now, they're all going to be closed box as well. So there was 3 red figures, that's the first. Now the other 2, I think it must have been due to the huge popularity of Knockout, this particular figure here. So obviously they did a red version of, not Knockout, do I mean Knockout? Yeah, I do mean Knockout, don't I? Of course I do. I'm confusing myself now looking at that. So they've done 2 more figures from the Transformers Prime saga. Of course, they are the leaders. So we've got Optimus Prime, highly poseable, lovely detailed face. Of course, you can take the Matrix out with him being the leader. And there, unfortunately, again, is the closed packaging. And then this one looks great. And of course, it's the leader Megatron. But what I like about this, and I even took a screenshot of it, is how detailed it is, but you've got some dark energy on accessories there. But this image there, that's the back of the figure, and I know you're probably thinking, and I'm going to say exactly what they said on the stream as well, why it's so good, because they haven't got to worry about transforming pieces or getting everything to fit into place. They can just do exactly that. They can just do a screen accurate figure. So that's, I suppose, a good way for them to justify their RED figures. And once again, we've got the closed box but beautiful looking packaging. Moving on to, this is weird because this was the biggest surprise, but I would say it's not a surprise, and we sort of expected this figure, but maybe not straight away. So they finished off the whole show with a shattered glass figure, and it was Slicer. And Slicer is an Action Master. It's a European exclusive. In fact, I've done a video of it on this channel if you want to watch it. But I suppose what the nice surprise was, Slicer, by the way, is, yes, known as Evil Wheeljack. But what the nice sort of surprise was, is you can see there we've got a shattered glass version. Again, depending on your continuity, it's either going to be Fast Track or Rorichi, whichever one you're looking at. As you can see, you'll definitely recognise now, because there is the spear or the trident or whatever it is that you can make out of the pieces. So the pieces are exactly the same. they're all broken up there, and you can do, well, I suppose what they were trying to do was make an exosuit. And again, if you check out the video I've done on this channel, you can see what I mean about the exosuit. He was giving him an exo bed there where he can lie down in part of it. But yeah, so it's a twin pack. It's a twin pack deluxe figure, and funnily enough, I've got some more images myself because I've just come off the Hasbro Pulse website myself, and I've pre-ordered it because I love the shattered glass continuity. There's the comic book as well that comes with it. Remember, they're limited edition comic covers. So what I've done is I've screen grabbed some actual images. I'm going to show them you right now. There's the two in hand, and these are the actual images from Hasbro Pulse's website. So you've got your two weapons there which can combine. It is a redeco of your wheeljack figure from the War for Cybertron trilogy. There, of course, again, depending on your continuity, it's either Shattered Glass, Rorichi, or Fast Track. There's all the pieces again, and there they are combined. So being used as a weapon and combined. But that's it. So that was Hasbro. Yeah, Hasbro Pulse's fans thing earlier in the day. So overall, nice to see some figures that we weren't expecting to. Negatives that I know people have already started talking about already. For me, I'm not too fussed because I don't mind them using a mold again. I'm just used to it being, used to G1, of course, the Seekers, the Autobot cars. They've always sort of done it. So what I'm basically trying to point out is if you look back over all of these, Blair is obviously, again, retool. Using the same mold. Burnout's a redeco. She's a redeco. Road Rocket's a redeco. Clampdown's a redeco. Cosmos is a new mold, and Override's a new mold. So I have all of these figures that we've pretty much had and revealed, and they're all new. Two of them are brand new molds, so that could be classed as one negative. Again, for me, not at the moment till I see them in hand. I'm pretty much excited by them all. I just like the idea of them. I like the concept of them. And again, and I think they might have said this themselves, it's nice to get some different figures in the Generations line that we don't always have. There's nothing wrong with this guy. He's brilliant. But if you think how many side swipes we've had down the line, and he's right there, same as Prowl, same as all that. So it's nice that some of the figures that all of a sudden that we're getting, they are different, like Clampdown. I mean, I never would have thought in a million years that we're going to get all the start of all the Diaclone figures, but it was nice. It was good. It was a good one. At least some of them were pretty much new. So what did you guys think? What are you guys excited by? Yeah, let me know. Again, apologies for this. If you're new to the channel, I'm so sorry. This isn't usually what I'm like. But I wanted to get it out as fast as I can for you guys. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you're excited for. And thank you for watching. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Like and comment. And don't forget to subscribe.